Okay, so today's winning song was Bob Dylan, Hurricane. So if you've got a spare 10 minutes, pull up a chair. We're going to do all 11 verses. Pistol shots ring out in the barroom night. Enter Patty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees the bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, my God, they killed them all. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man with the authorities came to blame for something he'd never done. Put him in a prison cell for one time. He could have been the champion of the world. Three bodies lying there with Patty C. And another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. I didn't do it, he says, and he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw them leaving, he says, and he stops. One of them had better call up the cops. So Patty calls up the cops, and they arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing on a hot Jersey night. Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Reuben Carter and a couple of friends are driving around. Number one contender for the middleweight crown. Had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down. When I pulled him over to the side of the road, just like that time before, the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you may as well not show up in the streets unless you want to draw the heat. Him and Arthur Dexter Brown were just out prowling around. He said, I saw two men running out, they looked like middleweights. They jumped into a white car with out-of-state plates. And Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. The cop said, wait a minute boys, this one's not dead. They took him to the infirmary, and though those men could hardly see, they told him they could identify the guilty man. To the hospital, they brought him upstairs. The wounded man looks up through his one dying eye, says, why'd you put him here for? He ain't the guy. Yes, here's the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something he'd never done. Put him in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 4 months later, the ghettos are in flame. Reuben's in South America fighting for his name, while Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game. And the cops are putting the screws in him, looking for someone to blame. Remember that murder that happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? You think you'd like to play ball with the law? Think you might have been that fighter you saw running that night? Don't forget that you are white. Arthur Dexter Bradley said, I'm really not sure. The cop said, a poor boy like you could do a break. We got you for the motel job and you're talking to your friend Bello. You don't want to have to go back to jail, be a nice fellow. You're doing the society a favor. That son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in the stir. We want to pin this triple murder on him. He ain't no gentleman, Jim. more verses to go. Reuben could take a man out with just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it that much. It's my work, he'd say, and I'll do it for pay. And when it's over, I just as soon as well go my way. Up to some paradise, where the trout streams flow and the air is nice. Ride a horse along the trail, but then they took him to the jail house where they try and turn a man into a man. Cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus and he never had a chance. The judge made Reuben's witness drunkards in the slums. To the white folks who watched him, he was a revolutionary bum. To the black folks, he was just a crazy. No one doubted that he pulled the trigger, though they could not produce the gun. The DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the all-white jury agreed. Crime was murder one, guess who testified? Bellow and Bradley, and they both lied. And the newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game. Criminals in their coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Reuben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell, an innocent man in a living hell. Yes, that's the story of the hurricane. It won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. Oh, we got there. Good song, long song, good song. Nice one. See you tomorrow.